I guess I'll never know what I missed on that first day of health class.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex standing up. Just don't do it. Promise? Okay, everybody take some rubbers.
Unfortunately, it looked more like a cow's head to me.
Now, who can tell me what these are? Yes.
The ears?
Apparently, I wasn't alone.
The ovaries. The ears would be up here.
Why don't you draw the whole lady? So we know where everything goes. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah. The whole lady.
All right.
Oh my god, everything. Let's go.
First, there are several elementary facts to be kept in mind. Most prostitutes are infected. The average free pickup is also likely to be infected. Obviously, then, the surest way to avoid venereal disease is to avoid sexual contact with all promiscuous women.
Come on. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
Yo, let's talk about AIDS.
Go on.
To the unconcerned and
uninformed.
You think you can't get it?
Well, you're wrong.
Don't dismiss this, a blacklist the topic.
And that ain't gonna stop it.
Now, if you go about it right, you just might
save your life.
Don't be uptight.
Come join the fight.
We're gonna tell you how you can get it
and how you won't.
All of the do's
and all of the don'ts.
I got some news for you, so listen, please. It's not a black, white, or gay disease. Are you ready, Pep?
Yeah, I'm set.
All right, then, come on, bet.
Let's talk about sex.
Word that Surgeon General Joycelyn Elders had been forced out came while cabinet secretaries were briefing the press on the Miami summit. Across the room, White House Press Secretary Dee Myers was quickly surrounded by reporters. This is what led President Clinton to ask for her resignation. Elders was asked at a UN forum about whether or not masturbation should be taught.
In regard to masturbation, I think that is something that it's a part of human sexuality, and it is a part of something that perhaps should be taught.
It was too much for the administration. The president spoke with Elders by phone from Miami this morning, and in a statement cited differences with administration policy and my own convictions as the reason for ordering Elders to go. The firing will please those who've been calling for her departure for months, among them House Speaker-to-be Newt Gingrich, who tied Elders to the president personally.
Why does the president keep her? I assume he shares her values. I assume he thinks it's okay.
Joycelyn Elders was among the most controversial of Clinton appointees. The former Arkansas health director took controversial stands on the issues early on.
When it comes to using your bits, everyone likes something different. Some boys like girls, some girls like boys. Sometimes boys like boys, and girls like girls. Some folk like everyone, and some folk don't like anyone, at least not sexually. Some people don't agree with the gender they were assigned at birth, and some people just want to do their own thing. And all of these are just fine, no matter what any book, bigot, or bully might tell you. Our sexualities and genders aren't one or the other, it's all spread over a whole wide spectrum of preferences and just things that feel natural to us. We're complicated. Side note, if what you're into is against the law, don't do it. If anyone involved, including yourself, is not a legal consenting adult, just don't do it. As someone whose first time was the result of emotional manipulation, it's important to me that you hear this. You never have to do anything you don't want to do. You are never obliged to sleep with someone, even if that person is already your partner. Any type of sexual activity where someone has not given their consent or has revoked it is sexual assault or rape. And what is consent? Consent is a willing, sober, and continuous yes. On the other hand, if you are ever deciding whether or not to sleep with someone who has not or cannot give you their consent, then I want you to remember this little song. Don't. Now, sadly, rape and sexual assault does happen, and if it has happened to you, then please do not feel guilty or ashamed, and certainly don't feel afraid to come forward. It is never your fault.
Porn is different from sex in real life. Let's find out how. Porn star penises are 6 to 9 inches. Civilian penis? 5 to 7. And while porn stars have very little hair down there, in real life 65% of women and 85% of men do. Indeed, female porn privates tend to sport a similar look. But real-world vaginas come in all shapes, sizes and colours. As for arousal, real people need 10 to 12 minutes to get going, while porn stars... Male performers can hump for days, but in real life 75% of men ejaculate within 3 minutes. And though porn starlets seem to always have an orgasm through penetration alone, 71% of women don't.
Sexual health education has been a major focus for me, is because I realize the severe detriment and destruction that can be caused by the lack of sexual health. The most common cause of poverty is children being born to children. And we see all of the consequences of the lack of sexual health. Things like just teenage pregnancy, sexually transmitted disease, HIV, sexual dysfunction. So we see all of these things in our society, and it makes up such a great part of our life. And yet, we spend so little time talking about it, teaching about it, educating our young people and our people about it. We could educate our parents. We could educate our communities. We could educate our politicians. We must know that if we want to have a sexually healthy society, it's about education.